home of Super Bowl 58 between the 49ers and the Chiefs. This is KPIX, CBS News Bay Area.
And right now in the afternoon edition, the storm knocking down dozens of trees, cutting power to 250,000 people right here in the Bay Area. Good afternoon, I'm Ryan Yamamoto. Strong winds toppled trees and power lines, leaving branches and debris all across the roadway. Sean Chitness is live in Walnut Creek, where they are trying to get the lights back on after a power pole fell on Ignacio Valley Road. So, Sean, what's the progress there?
Well, Ryan, first let's talk about the impact that it is having on drivers. If you look over here, you can see that the backup continues. It's a long stretch of the road here. We're right at the point where it goes from being down one lane to being down two lanes just before Homestead Avenue. So that's why we are seeing such the delay here. Now let's zoom into what is one of the major problems at this particular spot, where you can see one of the power lines has come down on its side. Just one of the many examples we're seeing around the Bay Area of the impact of this storm and those strong winds. Let's also take a look at the view from above that we have from the helicopter that gives you a sense of what PG&E crews have been working on for quite some time. We know that there were some concerns earlier and they were able to clear another section of this road, but now they are dealing with this particular section and the delays are continuing. Again, it is a long stretch of the road here. In fact, just up from where we are, there is a shopping center where there are several businesses. The vast majority have been without business, it looks like, for most of the morning. I did reach out to PG&E to get a sense of what the impact is and if we can locate specifically what this power line and other areas are doing to the homes and businesses in this area, but haven't gotten a response from them just yet. That is something that they're looking into. But the main message right now from the authorities in this area, including Walnut Creek Police, is to avoid this particular stretch because it doesn't look like they will be able to open up these lanes anytime soon and get that traffic moving to what people would normally like to see around this time of day. Ryan, back to you.
Yeah, Sean, we know those crews are out in full force doing the best they can right now, and you've been reporting out all morning long. So what kind of damage have you seen as you were driving around the Bay Area?
Well, Ryan, that's right. We're, of course, here in the East Bay. Started our day in the morning in San Francisco, and all around San Francisco, both being out last night and this morning, I can tell you, it didn't matter where you were going. One street, all of a sudden, you saw trees were down, roads had to be closed, there were detours being made, and of course, you know, not just trees being down, but in some cases, damage to actual homes. And in one case, one home affected, the others not. So it just gives you a sense of how the damage can be so random with storms like this.
Yeah,
Ryan, back to you.
Yeah, so random and so widespread. All right, thanks, Sean Chitness, reporting live in Walnut Creek. And trees were crashing down all over San Francisco last night. Crews are out trying to clear roads and get the power turned back on. Happening right now, though. Mayor London Breed is giving an update on that damage around the city.
The wind gusts, which is what created a lot of the challenges that we've seen out with fallen trees and power outages. We had about 25,000 people who lost power last night, and so far this morning at 8 a.m., less than 5,000 people still had problems with power.
And we have crews out tracking the damage, and we'll have much more coming up at 3 o'clock. So let's take a live look at the conditions right now around the Bay Area. You can see a lot of clouds still outside. Maybe the rain has tapered up. Maybe the rain is still coming down. First Alert Chief Meteorologist Jessica Birch here with the very latest from our virtual view studio. And when we just saw the mayor there, Jess, I mean, that rain was still coming down on her.
Absolutely. It is a First Alert weather day still, and as we take a look at yesterday's impacts from that atmospheric river, I mean, all the way down into Morgan Hill, we saw over 2 inches of rainfall in those communities, over 2 inches in Los Gatos, and the more north we went, well, the more impressive the storm really got. Let's talk about Novato, for example. Wind speeds yesterday in Marin County got anywhere up to around 102 miles per hour recorded by the National Weather Service. Match that with this heavy rain we saw up in the North Bay. Novato got over 4 inches within a 24-hour period, and as we take a look at what's happening for us right now, that Doppler is still active. Some of us are looking out our windows right now while we're live and thinking, what is she talking about? It's dry. But some of us are still dealing with some active weather. The atmosphere above us right now is still very unstable. We can see pop-up storms throughout this afternoon. We're seeing that right now just across the Bay Bridge from Oakland into San Francisco. I was looking out the window just a second ago from our live cam, which better yet, actually, I can show you right now. zoom out real fast if you don't mind, Maddie. This is what it's looking like for our friends just across the Bay Bridge. Poor conditions when it comes to visibility. Still rainy as can be. Let's pull back to this now and show you some other communities because it's dry for our friends at least closer to San Leandro, over into Hayward, and here we go down into the Santa Clara Valley. Some light drizzle currently in the forecast for us right now. All right, let's take a quick look at what's going to happen heading into this afternoon. More of these unsettled storms are going to move in from offshore, producing about 1/4 of an inch off into the East Bay. Drier conditions up into the North Bay for a little bit, and these showers linger into our forecast tomorrow. I'm going to talk more about how yesterday's impacts are still lasting into our forecast today, though. We've seen downed trees and power outages, and of course, we are still dealing with localized flooding, and I'm going to have more on that coming up in a bit. For now, back to you, Ryan.
All right, thanks, Jess. Thousands of people out in power in Sonoma County. Some of those outages are caused by falling trees, like a lot of these in Santa Rosa. You can see it blocking the road with caution tape right there. San Jose officials closely watching the Guadalupe River. The mayor there is issuing a state of emergency. He and other state officials were out over the weekend warning people living near the river that they may have to evacuate. There are encampments along the banks there, and as the river rises, they're at risk. And we spoke to one man who escaped his encampment but then came back to get his cat.
Most of the time I have to worry about the water is gonna take my house away, or things like that. So he was in my bed just waiting for me. So he knew I was gonna come back to get him. I want to keep it with me as long as I can.
Good to see the cat is safe, and San Jose firefighters sharing this video of a rescue happening on the Guadalupe River. 3 people and 12 dogs were rescued. And at one point this morning, 250,000 customers were without power in the Bay Area. That number is now down to 185,000, still a lot of people. The hardest hit areas are the North and South Bays, and outages caused school districts in both San Jose and Sonoma County to cancel classes today as the Bay Area cleans up from the storm. People in Southern California, though, they're dealing with mudslides and strong winds. Just look at the water covering the road. This was in Rialto and San Bernardino County. Reporter Rick Montez has more on the damage from Los Angeles.
This is by far the worst destruction we've seen driving through the hills here in Beverly Crest all morning long. We've seen some damage to homes, but check out this video. An entire home forced off of its foundation by mud flow and debris that came down around 2 o'clock this morning. Neighbors tell us the home is vacant, which is so fortunate when you see all of that destruction, everything from inside the home forced out and shoved down the street, including a giant piano that is just in the middle of the road now. Several other homes damaged. Incredibly, no one was seriously hurt.
Yeah, it's up and down the state right now, and that storm also causing trouble at our Bay Area airports. There have been dozens of cancellations today at SFO. There are fewer cancellations at Oakland and San Jose, but both airports are returning and reporting high levels of delays. Those delays also causing trouble for fans trying to get to Las Vegas for the Super Bowl. And a live look now from Las Vegas. Welcome to Super Bowl week. We have extensive live coverage as the Niners set to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. This evening will be opening night, a huge media event where players sit down with hundreds of journalists, including our very own Vern Glenn and Matt Lively. We have a team of reporters in Vegas all week covering the team and the faithful who are showing up in full force. And 49er fans sending the team off from San Jose Mineta Airport yesterday afternoon. We followed their journey to Las Vegas, and Nicole Zalumis even caught dozens of fans greeting them at the Hilton Hotel, where they will stay.
Hours before the 49ers arrived at the Hilton, loyal fans were already on hand, patiently waiting for their team.
We were trying to be the first ones here to get, some good seats. Hopefully we could catch something going on in there. Hopefully we don't get crowded up over here, so we want to be the first ones here.
For this local family, they realized they should probably go home and bundle up if they were going to wait a few more hours for the Niners' arrival.
It'll be a while now.
Yeah.
They got a long time. They haven't even left yet.
I know, because of the rain delay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that.
Being hopeful, just waiting, bringing the kids out, hoping that we get to see our favorite guys. Yep.
I made my way up to the team hotel before I was quickly told to stop and turn around. Security is tight right now, but at least this gives you a good idea as to where the 49ers are staying. And I wasn't the only person snooping around.
Just to see them.
Yes, to see them.
Yes.
Just take a glimpse of them at least.
Yeah.
Yes.
We've
yes.
been to many Niner games, but we're always at the highest seats. So
yeah.
just
So
to
it'd be nice to see them close up at least.
As the sun set, the fans came out by the dozens. And even if they didn't get to see their favorite players up close, the Niner faithful let their team know it's game time.
And KPIX is your home for all things Super Bowl 58. We have multiple reporters on the ground in Las Vegas. That's the crew right there, including our morning team, Julia Goodrich and the entire sports team, Vern Glenn, Matt Lively, with live reports continuing this evening at 5 p.m. Remember, KPIX and Paramount Plus are the only places to catch Super Bowl 58 from the comfort of your couch between the Niners and the Chiefs.